Whatever the metabolism occurs outside the liver, we call it as extrahepatic metabolism. Extra means outside the liver. So the metabolism which is occurring outside the liver by any other organ except the liver is called extrahepatic metabolism. But the major metabolism occurs in liver. So the liver is, the above is elementary organ. This is the stomach, and it is roughly situated like this parallelly. Okay. So the cells making up the liver are called hepatic cells. If we see a hepatic cell, inside the cell will have nucleus, right? And to the nucleus are attached is endoplasmic reticulum. It will be looking like this. And whatever the space inside the cell is called cytoplasm. You must be knowing this. Okay, cytoplasm. So there are enzymes. There are enzymes. Okay, two types. One is microsomal, the other one is non-microsomal. Microsomal and non-microsomal. So microsomal enzymes reside on endoplasmic reticulum, this tubule. The enzymes present on reticulum are microsomal enzymes. Non-microsomal enzymes are uh, embedded in cytoplasm. They are present in cytoplasm. So there are two types of enzymes which are involved in drug metabolism. One is microsomal. They are present on rough endoplasmic reticulum, and non-microsomal enzymes are present in cytoplasm. Fine. So most of the drugs and most of the oxidation reactions are done by microsomal enzymes, and non-microsomal enzymes perform most of the reduction, hydrolysis, and phase 2 reactions. Okay. Microsomal enzymes involved in most of the oxidation reactions. Oxidation reactions are under phase 1, right? Phase 1. Oxidation reactions are under phase 1. And non-microsomal enzymes perform reduction on the hydroxylation or hydrolysis of phase 1, as well as phase 2 conjugation reactions. It is very important to remember phase 2 conjugation reactions. The difference must be clearly distinguished. Okay. That is one thing we need to know in the introduction. Then we need to see one concept, that is the enzymes which are catalyzing the uh, drug metabolism reactions are monooxygenases. Monooxygenases. They are called monooxygenase. Why? Mono means single. Oxygen means oxygen atom, right? Generally, oxygen occurs in O2, right? But here, what is happening? Only one oxygen atom is being taken by the enzyme and transferred to the drug, which is getting metabolized. Okay, so single oxygen from O2 is taken up by the enzyme monooxygenase and will be added to the drug metabolism. Okay, added to the drug in the part as a part of metabolism. Okay, that is the reason we call these enzymes as monooxygenases, as well as the other name is mixed oxygenases. Okay, I think I'm clear. So now we have to see a basic cycle of drug metabolism where electron electron chain is present. Okay, so basically we call it as electron transfer chain. There is a presence of electron transfer chain. Basically, whatever the metabolism you take, okay, whatever the metabolism you take, let it be a food also, the end product after getting metabolized into smaller units and smaller atoms, finally inside the cell, it involves electron transfer chain, which provides the energy to the body. Okay, in the cell, and that electron chain we need to know what is involved when it comes to drug metabolism. Okay, so there are three components. There are three components in the electron transfer chain. This is very important, can be asked for 5 marks. We need to know the cycle as well as describe the steps. That's it. Okay, three components will be there in the electron transfer chain inside the cell. Inside the cell, which cell? Hepatic cell, liver cell. Okay, three components. What are they? Cytochrome P, CYP450. This is one component. Okay, the second one is a flavoprotein, that is known as cytochrome P450 reductase. This is a flavoprotein and enzyme. This is the second component. This is a flavoprotein and enzyme. Okay, and the third component is phosphatidylcholine. Phosphatidylcholine. This is a lipid component. Lipid component. This is the third component. Okay, so electron chain has three components. One is cytochrome P450 enzyme, cytochrome P450 enzyme. And why it is named as 450? The name cytochrome P is name of enzyme. 450 is its absorbance. It shows absorbance at 450 nanometers. That is the reason we call it as cytochrome P 450. 450 is the nanometers at which it shows some significance. That means we can identify that enzyme. Okay, at 450 nanometers. That is the reason they have kept the name CYP450. Then there is an enzyme which is reducing that CYP450. So we called it as reductase of what? Cytochrome P450. It is reducing cytochrome P450. That is why we call second component as cytochrome P450 reductase. Third one is a lipid component, that is phosphatidylcholine. These are the three main components we have to remember. These are very important. Okay, so what is the function? Okay, so CYP450 will try to transfer the oxygen atom from the iron. Okay, iron. And that will be carried out through cytochrome P450 reductase. Please unmute, please mute yourself if you have background noise. Okay. Then the third one is phosphatidylcholine. It will also facilitate the electron transfer by engaging with NADPH, an electron source. NADPH. We need some energy provider, that is NADPH, nicotinic adenine, right? Dihydrogen phosphate. Dihydrogen phosphate. That is reduced form of NADP. Okay. So these are the functions. So now I have already described the functions clearly in the notes. You can go through. So I will show you how the cycle will be. So this is the cycle. This is the cycle. Starts from here. This is cytochrome P450 and we need iron ions, also magnesium, iron and magnesium. Iron is denoted with Fe, right? Elemental symbol for iron is Fe, ferrous, right? So when it is in +3, it will be oxidized form. When it is converted into, when one electron is added to it, it will be converted into Fe +2. Okay, +2. Okay, I have already told you that minus, when it comes, plus will be subtracted. So electron is a negative. When it comes and attaches to iron, it will be removing 1 plus. Okay. So what is the substrate? The drug which we are discussing, which is undergoing the metabolism, is the substrate. And whole RH, it is represented as RH. R is whole drug, and the change is taking place at 1 hydrogen. So we are representing 1 hydrogen. Okay, so this complex cytochrome P450, this enzyme, along with the iron, is a complex. Now, this complex is being added with substrate. So we have as it is P450, iron, and added with the drug. In drug, we have hydrogen, which is the site of action. Okay. Now, what happens? The second component of the cycle, that is cytochrome P450 reductase enzyme. Enzyme is taking an electron from NADPH and providing to this complex. What happens now? This Fe3 plus will be reduced to Fe plus 2. Okay, this is happening. So simultaneously, what is happening? A carbon monoxide molecule is added, and at this stage, this carbon monoxide is attached to the iron, will show a chromophore, that is colored component. It will turn into colored component observed at 450 nanometers. Observed at 450 nanometers. That is the reason we have called it as cytochrome P450 name. Okay, with the name. Okay. So then what happened? Then molecular oxygen comes and attaches to this complex. Molecular oxygen will be in the form of O2, comes and attaches to this oxygen. Here it forms a ternary complex. Now again, the energy source, that is electron provider, will be, that is NADPH. Okay, and the enzyme cytochrome P450 reductase will take another electron from NADPH and will provide to the ternary complex. So if you observe, here we got O2 here, but we called the enzyme, if you remember, as monooxygenase. It will take only one oxygen from the molecular oxygen and will transfer to the drug. So that is the step here. And from O2, it has taken only single oxygen and added to the drug complex. This is activated oxygen species. So this is the metabolized drug, and from here, the drug will be dissociated from the complex by the addition of O to this H. Okay, that is this one, ROH. So initially the drug was RH. After metabolism, it is turned into ROH. So we are adding only single molecule of a single atom of oxygen. So we call the enzyme as monooxygen. And the complex will be again available for the next molecule of the drug too. So this is the cycle of drug metabolism. Okay, this is the cycle of drug metabolism we need to remember, and the same steps are described in the following page. The same steps are described in the following page neatly, step by step. So please go through the uh, notes, and this cycle is very, very important. You have to practice it at least 3 times. Today's homework is you have to write this thing in your notebook physically at least 1 time and understand. Try to understand the steps. This is very easy. You need to remember the 3 components. If you remember the 3 components, following changes are described as it is. And as we know, the enzyme involved in drug metabolism will transfer one molecule of oxygen to the drug substrate. Okay. For that, we have to bind the drug substrate to the P450 complex that is having iron. Okay. The iron will be added with electron so that it will be converted into Fe plus 2. When it is in Fe plus 2 form, it will be added with carbon monoxide that will show color at 450 nanometers. That is the reason we have kept the name cyclochrome P450. Then after we'll add molecular oxygen, that is O2. From that O2, we will transfer only one oxygen atom to the drug molecule so that RH will be converted into ROH, that is oxidation. Okay, we are oxidizing the product. So this cycle is very much particular to oxidation reactions. This is the cycle involved in the oxidation reactions. Whole thing is electron transfer chain. Electron transfer chain. There are 3 components involved. One is cytochrome P450 enzyme. The second component is cytochrome P450 reductase. And the third component is phosphatidyl choline. Okay. So the energy source is NADPH. So these are the steps described. and this is very, very important. I'm reminding you again and again. This will be very important question both in midterm as well as in the final examination of JNTU. You need to uh, depict this cycle and write these 5 steps. Okay, that I have provided in your. Now we have to see. We have remembered. We have tried to memorize the list of reactions, right? Do you remember that? I have in the last class I have tried to repeat them by 3 or 4 people, right? Phase one reactions, what all are there under it? Oxidation, reduction, and hydrolysis. Phase two reactions, the conjugation reactions. Okay, and under oxidation, what all are the things? So I'll show you how to write an example for each. Okay, if you see phase one reactions, under that the first subcategory is oxidation reaction. So just now we saw the oxidation cycle of along with the electron transfer chain. How we are incorporating from there, we came to know that we are incorporating single atom of oxygen from molecular oxygen by the involvement of cytochrome P450 enzyme and other two components. Okay, so here the first heading is oxidation of aromatic carbonate. Aromatic means which are having cyclic structure with delocalized pi electrons is called aromatic. And you know many examples as of aromatic compounds. Basic aromatic compound is benzene. Other heterocyclic 15 cycles I have made you to learn. Those all are aromatic, right? Such aromatic rings, if having uh, present in the drug structure, how they are oxidized. Okay, this intermediate will be formed with monooxygen. Okay, then an enzyme called epoxide hydrase, because this form is called three-membered ring with one oxygen atom is called epoxide. So the enzyme is oxidizing this particular region. So we call that enzyme as epoxide hydrase. Okay. This epoxide hydrase, what it is doing? It is making this hydrogen. Hydrogen present here is being turned into OH. OH. We are incorporating single atom of oxygen. So this is one item. So this moiety is present in the examples: phenytoin, a CNS drug; propranolol, used for hypertension, BP, we call it as, and paracetamol. This moiety, aromatic moieties are oxidized in these three drugs example, and how it is done. So when you can't remember the structure, you can simply put A, so AR. AR represents aromatic ring, and you can put it as hydrogen. Aromatic ring and hydrogen, and write the reaction. Okay, write the reaction in next step. Aromatic ring, okay, is forming epoxide. From epoxide, it is aromatic OH. This is how you can write the example. So here what we are saying, that we know the mechanism of drug through oxidation of aromatic carbon atoms, but we are unable to remember the whole structure of the drug. It is okay not to remember whole structure of the drug because it is the initial stage. So how we can abbreviate? Like this. Aromatic can be represented as AR. ARH is being converted into AROH with the intermediate of epoxide formation. And you can write below the example: phenytoin, propranolol, and paracetamol undergo this type of oxidative reaction. Am I clear? అర్థమైందమ్మా?
Yes, sir.
సో మొత్తం డ్రగ్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ని మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోలేం కాబట్టి మనం హైడ్రోజన్ యాటమ్, ఒక డ్రగ్ లో ఉన్న హైడ్రోజన్ యాటమ్ ని OH గా మారుస్తాం. కాబట్టి హోల్ అరోమాటిక్ రంగ్ ని AR అని రాసి అక్కడ హైడ్రోజన్ ఒకటి అటాచ్ చేసి ఎపాక్సైడ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి ఎపాక్సైడ్ పెట్టి ఆ నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ లో AROH అని పెట్టి చూపిస్తే చాలు. ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఆ హెడ్డింగ్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకొని ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రాస్తే సరిపోతుంది. ఓకే, లైక్ వైజ్ ఐ హావ్ గివెన్ one example for each heading. Each heading we have discussed. I wanted to memorize them, and each heading you have to keep. Here also you can depict this ring, or you can put or double bond, okay, or double bond or it, as it is a aromatic compound, you can put double bond or, and this is the site of action. What it is getting into, it is getting turned into epoxide again. Okay, AR R, and finally what is happening? AROH OH. This is how you can repeat. So what is the heading? Oxidation of olefins. Olefins means containing double bond atoms. Double bond atoms, how they are getting converted into OH. That is how you are representing. Okay. Likewise, what is next heading? That is benzylic carbon atom. The carbon atom which is directly attached to the benzene ring is called benzylic carbon atom. How this benzylic carbon atom is getting oxidized? CH3 is the benzylic carbon atom, and here it is getting converted into CH2OH, and followed by CH2OH converting into aldehyde CHO, finally into carboxylic acid. These all are the oxidative products. So this is the method how to depict example in case you don't remember the whole chemical structure of the. And the next heading is oxidation of allylic carbon atoms. So this is the allylic CH2 double bond C is allylic carbon. Okay, here this carbon attached directly to this double bond. The immediate carbon atom which is present after the double bond is the allylic carbon. So this is the allylic carbon. This allylic carbon getting converted into OH. The hydrogen present on that carbon is getting converted into OH. So this is the allyl. Only thing you need to remember, what is allylic carbon, what is benzylic carbon, what is olefin. If you remember that, you can easily apply your mind to depict the reaction what is happening under such heading. Okay, likewise, the next one is oxidation of carbon atom alpha to carbonyl and imine. Carbonyl means what? C double bond O. C double bond O. C double bond O is present here, and the carbon atom immediately present after C double bond O is known as alpha carbon atom. This alpha carbon atom is converting, having a hydrogen that will be converted to OH. So what is the alpha carbon atoms to carbonyl and imine? Imine means C double bond N is imine. Carbonyl means C double bond O. C double bond N means imine. Okay. So the carbon atom beside this functional group will be converted into OH. That is what to be depicted as an example. And if you see the next heading, that is oxidation of aliphatic carbon atoms. Aliphatic means non-cyclic, straight chain or branched chain type of carbon atoms can be converted. See, this CH2 will be converted, attached with OH. Okay, that means one oxygen is attached and will be converted into OH. So this is how we proceed with writing the examples. And so I think now you got clarity how to depict an example for each heading. So if you see the next heading, that is oxidation of alicyclic. Alicyclic means which are cyclic in nature but not aromatic, but means absence of pi electrons. If you see alicyclic is this one. Minoxidil is the example drug. Alicyclic ring is this, but this is aromatic ring. It is having pi electrons. This is aromatic ring. This is alicyclic. In alicyclic ring, if a carbon is getting oxidized, this carbon will be attached to the hydrogen attached to this carbon will be added with one oxygen converted into hydroxyl. And we saw headings like carbon heteroatom systems. That means drugs having carbon along with an heteroatom. What all are the heteroatoms? Nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. So when you have nitrogen, carbon and nitrogen, there occurs a reaction called N-dealkylation. D means removal. What is getting removed? Alkyl group. Okay, alkyl means that can be anything. CH3, that is methane, ethane, propane, butane, anything. Any alkyl chain attached to nitrogen will be removed. If you see this example, there is a methyl group attached to this nitrogen in the drug, and this will be removed. This methyl group will be removed. When methyl group is removed, in that place and hydrogen comes and will be or NH2, that is amine, and remove alkyl group formaldehyde. Okay, and dealkylation. Where are those drugs present? This type of dealkylation occurs in morphine, diazepam, and imip. And if you see oxidative deamination, the drug example is there is NH and R is alkyl. When when oxidation occurs, this carbon will be attached with, included with the monooxygen and converted into OH group. Okay, and this whole thing will be removed. NH2R alkyl as well as amine group present is removed, and the carbon atom to which nitrogen is attached will be removed. To be simple, the carbon part and nitrogen part, two heteroatoms, that is carbon and nitrogen, will be separated completely. In earlier, carbon and nitrogen will be intact, but only alkyl group is removed, so dealkylation. Here, oxidative deamination, amine group is being removed. That means amine also contains nitrogen. So that is the difference between N-dealkylation and oxidative deamination. What is the example for oxidative deamination? That is amphetamine. Then the third one is N-oxide formation. N-oxide means N-arrow oxide. If you observe, it is dimethylamine group. And here to the nitrogen, we are incorporating single oxygen. So N-oxide, N-arrow towards oxygen. That means oxygen is more electronegative. That is the reason we are depicting it with such arrow. Electrons are being transferred to oxygen from nitrogen. Although nitrogen is also electronegative, it is relatively having lesser electronegativity than oxygen. Examples for N-oxide formation, examples are imipramine, nicotine, trimethoprim, and N-hydroxylation. That means nitrogen will be added with OH group. So N-hydroxylation. If you see, this NH in this drug is added with OH. Okay, N-hydroxylation. So you can, as I told you the technique, you can simply round the molecule and you can highlight only NH and NH, and you can write like this. NH, this is the drug, and NOH being converted. So simply you can write like this. You can't remember the structure, you highlight the area or the functional group getting changed, and you can put all molecule like a circle and bond it to nitrogen, and this NH is converted into OH. So example is lidocaine, and these N-dealkylation, oxidative deamination, and oxide formation and hydroxylations are part of carbon-nitrogen system. And likewise, we have carbon-sulfur systems in which we have sulfur dealkylation. Means removal of alkyl group attached to the sulfur is S dealkylation. This methyl group attached to sulfur is removed. Similar to N-dealkylation, it is S dealkylation. Okay. Second one is desulfuration. That means removal. D means removal. What we are removing? Sulfur. So if you see sulfur containing drug, the sulfur is removed and oxygen is replaced. Okay. Example for each type of heading are mentioned there. Try to remember. And we have S oxidation. S will be oxidized. Likewise, you see in N oxide formation, it is S oxide formation. S arrow to the oxygen. So here two oxygens are formed due to availability of extra electrons at sulfur. Likewise, the third heteroatom system is carbon oxygen system. In that you have O dealkylation, that means alkyl group attached to the oxygen will be removed. And the second one that finishes the carbon heteroatom systems. Then we have oxidation of alcohols, carbonyl and carboxylic acid. See, the logic is same. And miscellaneous is like dehalogenation, removal of halogen. Halogens are chlorine, Chlorine, bromine, iodine. The chief example is chlorine. Chlorine is most abundant. Okay. So removal of chlorine through oxidation is called oxidative dehalogenation. So that is the. So these all are the headings. You have to remember at least 5 examples and 5 headings. 5 examples and 5 headings. Okay. To suffice our answer. If you could remember all the headings, that's fair enough. Okay. So then comes reduction reactions. Reductions, first one is carbonyl. Carbonyl means C double bond O. So addition of hydrogen is reduction. So here, if you see C double bond O, O will be converted into OH. Double bond will be converted into. Means we have added hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen is called as reduction. So if you see azo reduction, aza means N double bond N is aza. So this double bond will be converted into single bond. That is converting into RNS2. So that means we are adding hydrogen again. So addition of hydrogen is reduction. Nitro reduction. Nitro means NO2 group. That NO2 converted into amine NH2. Addition of hydrogen again is reduction. Then the third category under phase 1 reactions is hydrolytic reactions. That means hydrolysis. Breaking down with the help of water is called hydrolysis. Usually happens with ester, right? This, if you see RC double bond O R, RCOOR is ester being broken into carboxylic acid and alcohol. Okay, so that is hydrolysis. Then amides, COOR is an amide present in lignocaine, will be broken down with the help of water into acid and amide. So then comes that finishes the examples for phase 1 reaction. And phase 2 reactions, you no need to remember these complex structures because we are conjugating. That means we are adding some amino acids. The list of amino acids are those 5 types of reactions to the already polar drug converted by phase 1 reaction. Phase 1 reaction made drug into somewhat polar. To that polar, we are adding polar drug substrate. We are adding some more polarity by conjugating with one of the 5 or 6 amino acids present. So these are the simple reactions adding the drug substrate with the what type of conjugate. If it is a sulfation, we'll add PAPS. PAPS stands for 3-phosphoadenosine 5-phosphosulfate. These are biomolecules present inside our body. Amino acids present inside our body will be added to ROH drug. ROH came from our oxidation in phase 1 reaction. Okay. That phase 1 reaction drug metabolite will be conjugated with PAPS, which is called as sulfation. So the drug can be represented like this, and once it is conjugated with the sulfur moiety can be depicted like this. Okay. And acetylation means involvement of acetyl coenzyme, again a biomolecule. Acetyl coenzyme is very common in body. You might have heard this name and came across through your biochemistry subject. Okay, acetyl coenzyme is chief enzyme involved in acetylation. Remember that. And the drug is amine group. Okay, amine is added with COCH3. Acetyl group is COCH3. NH drug is added with COCH3. So acetylation. And methylation means adding methyl group. Methyl group. So if you see RO is attached with methyl group. Okay, methylation. And glutathione is represented as GSH. In glutathione, the drug is R. R is complex with. So basically, I want to tell you is that the conjugation reactions are simply attaching that particular amino acid present in our heading to the drug. Okay, that is the logic behind remembering. So, guys, I want to summarize the uh, content which I have taught you till now. Okay, so one is we have already learned the headings of phase 1 and phase 2 reactions. Phase 1 reactions will have oxidation, reduction, and hydrolysis. Okay, and under that we have discussed what type of functional group will be turned into what type of substrate metabolite. Okay, And phase one reactions aim is to introduce some polar molecule, polar functional group, and that will make that ready for undergoing phase two reaction. Phase two reactions all are conjugation reactions. Phase two reactions involves conjugation of any of the amino acid with the drug, so the drug will be more polar and easily excreted out of the body. And I have emphasized how to write examples in case you don't remember the chemical structure of whole drug. Okay, so and for that I have provided all these in your notes, right? I have uploaded. So తెలుగులో చెప్తున్నామా మనము డ్రగ్ మెటబాలిజం డిస్కస్ చేసాము. లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో ఎట్లా చేసామంటే డ్రగ్ మెటబాలిజం కి రెండు ఫేజెస్ ఉంటాయి రియాక్షన్స్. ఫేజ్ వన్ రియాక్షన్స్, ఫేజ్ టూ రియాక్షన్స్. ఫేజ్ వన్ రియాక్షన్స్ లో మళ్ళీ మూడు రకాలు ఉంటాయి. ఒకటి ఆక్సిడేషన్, రెండోది రిడక్షన్, మూడోది హైడ్రోలైసిస్. వాటి కింద మనము ఒక్కొక్క ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ ఎలా మారుతుంది ఆక్సిడేషన్ లో అనేది చూసాం. ఓకే, తర్వాత ఒక్కొక్క దానికి మనం ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఎలా రాయొచ్చు, ఎందుకంటే ప్రతిదానికి ఒక్కొక్క డ్రగ్ దాని స్ట్రక్చర్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవడం కష్టం కాబట్టి మొత్తం డ్రగ్ ని ఆర్ అని కానీ లేకపోతే అరోమాటిక్ రింగ్ అయితే ఏఆర్ అని కానీ చూసి మనము హైడ్రోజన్ ని ఓహెచ్ గా మారుస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి హైడ్రోజన్ ఒక్కదాన్ని మనం చూపించి ఆ రియాక్షన్ ని రాసి రియాక్షన్ హెడ్డింగ్ రాసి దాన్ని చూపించి హెచ్ ఓహెచ్ గా ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుందో చూపిస్తాం. రిడక్షన్ లో అయితే డబుల్ బాండ్ మనకి సింగిల్ బాండ్ ఎలా అవుతుంది, హైడ్రోజన్స్ ఎలా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. రిడక్షన్ అంటే హైడ్రోజన్ ని యాడ్ చేయడం, హైడ్రోజన్ ని యాడ్ చేస్తే రిడక్షన్. అలాగే హైడ్రోలైసిస్ కోసం ఎస్టర్స్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ చూసాం. ఓకే, సో ఈ విధంగా కాంజుగేషన్ రియాక్షన్స్, ఫేజ్ టూ రియాక్షన్స్ లో ఏదో ఒక ఎమినో యాసిడ్ ని ఆల్రెడీ ఫేజ్ వన్ లో వచ్చిన డ్రగ్ మెటబాలైట్ కి యాడ్ చేయడాన్ని ఫేజ్ టూ రియాక్షన్స్ అన్నాం. ఫేజ్ టూ రియాక్షన్స్ లో ఎన్ని రకాలైతే ఎమినో యాసిడ్స్ ఉన్నాయో ఆ ఎమినో యాసిడ్స్ ని డ్రగ్ కి కనెక్ట్ చేయడమే కాంజుగేషన్. కాంజుగేషన్ మీన్స్ కనెక్టింగ్. ఓకే, సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఎలా రాయాలని చూపించాను. అలాగే ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ అదేంటి, హౌ ఆక్సిడేషన్ రియాక్షన్స్ అక్కర్స్ ఇన్ ఏ సైక్లిక్ ఫార్మ్ త్రూ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ chain. Electron transfer chain, you have three components. One is cytochrome P450. Second component is cytochrome P450 reductase. Third one is phosphatidylcholine. I have depicted the cycle and shown you the steps one by one. So ఆ cycle ని ఆ స్టెప్స్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ ని నోట్స్ లో చూసి ఒకసారి ఈ రోజు రాయడం అనేది హోంవర్క్. అట్లీస్ట్ వన్ టైమ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఇన్ ది నోట్స్ యాజ్ అ హోంవర్క్. ఇఫ్ యూ విష్, ఐ రికమెండ్ రైటింగ్ యూ అట్లీస్ట్ ఫర్ 3 to 5 times టు రిమెంబర్, గెట్ అన్ ఐడియా. అది ఈ రోజే చేయాలమ్మా, ఎందుకంటే ఈ రోజే క్లాస్ అయింది కాబట్టి ఈ రోజు రాస్తేనే ఒక ఐడియా వస్తుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, దేర్ కెన్ బి ఎ క్వశ్చన్ లైక్ డిపిక్ట్ ది ఆక్సిడేషన్ సైకిల్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ ఇన్ డ్రగ్ మెటబాలిజం అన్నప్పుడు మనము ఈ సైకిల్ రాయాల్సి వస్తుంది, ఈ స్టెప్స్ ని రాయాల్సి వస్తుంది. అదే సైకిల్ ఏం జరిగిందో రాయాల్సి వస్తుంది. అట్లాగే ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్, ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి, డిపిక్ట్ either phase 1 reactions or phase 2 reactions or both phase 1 and phase 2 reactions along with examples అన్నప్పుడు మీరు అన్ని మీకు phase 1 phase 2 reactions రాసి ఆక్సిడేషన్ రిడక్షన్ హైడ్రోలైసిస్ రాసి అట్లీస్ట్ 5 ఈచ్ 5 ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ హెడ్డింగ్స్ రాశారంటే యూ విల్ గెట్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఫుల్ మార్క్స్. సో ఒక హెడ్డింగ్ మెమరైజ్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మెమరైజ్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఐ హ్యావ్ టోల్డ్ యూ ది లాజిక్ హౌ టు రిమెంబర్. ఓకే, పెద్దగా ఉంది కానీ లాజిక్ అప్లై చేస్తే యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ అండర్స్టాండ్, మెమరైజ్ అండ్ ఆల్సో రిప్రొడ్యూస్ ఇన్ యువర్ ఎగ్జామ్. కరెక్ట్ గా నేను చెప్పిన లాజిక్ కనుక వాడి ఒక 5 to 10 times మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేశారంటే అవుట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఓన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ యూ విల్ ఎక్సెల్ యూనిట్ 1 అండ్ కమింగ్ టు ది ఎగ్జామినేషన్స్. am I క్లియర్? అర్థమైందమ్మా చెప్పింది?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go through the notes, try to practice them today itself. Okay, I'll try to complete the other remaining portion of unit 1 in the next class, that is tomorrow. Okay, timings may vary based on my availability, so please do cooperate and take care of your attendance. I see only 50 attendance here. Take care of attendance because our principal sir is serious about the attendance and you may not get the chance to appear in mid exams if your attendance is lower than the required. అర్థమైందమ్మా?